Now, at what point did you really start doing comedy?
Oh, let's see here. Shit, I won class clown every motherfucking year in high school. Uh, it's just my personality. I never thought nothing of it as a business. I was actually, studying to be a biological engineer. Had a free scholarship, went to K-State University, stayed there for about a year. Then went to the United States Navy, and all they could take of me is 1 year, and they kicked me the fuck out. So, because they were like, give me 100 push-ups. I'm like, I didn't come here to do calisthenics, motherfucker.
Right.
The commercial said, go overseas and see some new shit.
Right.
They stationed me in Meridian, Mississippi. I could have drove down to that motherfucker. So, never seen a boat. Some bullshit. So, I think it was my 18th or 19th birthday. Me and my cousin, Lil Curtis, was hanging out in Kansas City back home. So we went to we was just bar hopping, drinking and shit. And, had little fake IDs and shit. So we stopped at this comedy club there called Stanford and Sons. So we walking that motherfucker, and it was one dry comedian after another. So my cousin was like, nigga, you funny these motherfuckers, we just hanging out on the block. I said, I bet you $50 you gonna get your black ass up there. I was broken the motherfucker, nigga. And I ain't never been on stage talking. I had boogalooed and locked and all that shit and won every fucking talent show a motherfucker was ever in. But never talked in front of an audience.
Right.
So nigga, I'm looking at that empty wallet, nigga, took a couple more drinks. So I walked over to the little manager and said, yeah, you mind if I get up and do 5 minutes? He said, yeah, we'll give you 5 minutes, see what you can do. That motherfucker handed me that mic, I did 45, stood him up. They banned me from the club.
Why did they ban you from the club?
They said I was a little too blue for their taste. I didn't understand what the fuck blue meant.
Sexual.
And then, once I got into the business for real, that means, you're a little edgy for their taste.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck it. Entrepreneurial spirit. So I went to all the jazz clubs on 18th and Vine. I said, what's your slow night? And they were like Tuesday, Wednesday. I said, you mind if I do a comedy night here? You know what I'm saying? I see 5 people in here now, so if I bring 2 more, motherfucker, you winning. So I started doing that shit, and I did that for about 9 months. And it was just packing the house. Marsha Warfield came to town. She had a show at the Uptown Theater. So I opened up for Marsha. So Marsha told me, look here, you little black motherfucker. You need to get out of this city, nigga. You need to take your ass to L.A. or New York. Right. You're too funny for this shit. Right? So my mother sat me down. She's like, all right, nigga. You a big fish in a small pond. I said, what you talking about? You got your little local TV show and all that shit, nigga. You a big fish in a small pond. Now, I want you to take your ass out to the ocean and see if you're a whale. So I jumped back on the Greyhound bus, nigga, came back to L.A. And I was homeless for about a month because I refused to go back to Compton to my Uncle Bucky's house because the shit over there is just not conducive to what the fuck I'm trying to do.
Right. When you say homeless, do you mean?
Fifth and Hill, downtown L.A.
So you were actually sleeping on the street?
Yes, standing up.
You were sleeping standing up?
I ain't bullshitting. I had 3 jobs. I worked at, it was this restaurant down there called Googie's Restaurant. I'd work there during the day. Then I'd work at Tony's Pizzeria. You know what I mean? I still see Tony from time to time. And that was inside the Bonaventure Hotel. And then this little flea-bitten hotel I finally got a room at after I got my first check from them 2 jobs. I started doing security at the door for that spot. So literally was working around the clock, sleep like 2 or 3 hours. So then I read this little, they call it a drama log or something I seen. And said, yeah, comedy store, so on and so forth. So I took a bus ride up to the comedy store. So I said, yeah, I'd like to showcase for the owner, Mitzi Shore. And they're like, well, yeah, they played at 3 major comedy clubs around the nation and all this shit. I'm like, So I sat at Carney's, right? And they had a payphone at the time out front.
Right.
So I'm looking at this drama log. So I called on the phone and played like I was my manager. I'm like, hello, yes, this is Eddie Griffin's manager. And I'd like to set a showcase up for this young man. He's from Kansas City, Missouri. The kid is phenomenal. You're gonna love him. He's played at Caroline's. I'm reading shit out the fucking book. He's been at the Improv and the Funny Bones. They said, yeah, he's on tonight at 8 o'clock. So I just hung out front. So 8 o'clock, I went up there. They gave me 5 minutes. I remember closing with Michael Jackson on crack.
Right.
I got off stage and Mitzi Shore walked up to me. She's like, oh my God, you got more time, you're pinky than anybody seen in 10 years. You want to work for me? So the manager was standing next to her. I said, can you translate what this bitch just said? I can understand what the fuck she's saying. So he said, you want to work? I said, tell the bitch I got a problem. I'm homeless. So she put me up at Crest Hill.
Okay.
So it was this little mansion she's got and shit. She put comedians and shit in. So I stayed there for a minute. Andrew Dice Clay came in. This was at the height of his shit.
Right.
And he was looking for an opening act for this big tour he's doing, Madison Square Garden, all that shit.
Yeah.
So everybody in there trying to get the gig, right? So he came in one night. So I did this impersonation of Andrew Dice Clay as a homosexual.
How did it go?
So I'm sitting there sucking a dick, right? And this guy is balls deep in my ass. Oh! So this motherfucker sitting there. I get off stage. He walk up to me. I'm taking my jacket off because I think I got to scrap with this motherfucker. He said, no, it ain't nothing like that. You fucking funny, all right? I got a tour coming up. Don't get excited. I ain't saying I'm thanking you, all right? How long you been doing comedy? I said, I don't know, about 9 months. 9 months? I said, yeah, 9 months. So he's waiting on me to ask him about the tour. So I refused to ask. In the back of my head, I'm like, I ain't saying shit. So he came back the next day, he watched me again. Got off stage, took me out front. He's like, you want something to drink? At that time, I didn't drink at all. I said, no, I don't drink. You don't drink? I said, no, I don't drink. He said, how about some orange juice? I said, all right, take some orange juice. So he's like, 9 months, huh? All right, fuck it, I'm taking you. We leave tomorrow, 7 o'clock. We get on the motherfucker plane. We get to, the first one was Providence, Rhode Island. 30,000 white people in there. I'm the only nigga in the house. So Bill Sheff was the opening comedian, right? You know, wears a suit, stand in one place type comedian. So they got these huge jumbotrons so that the crowd can see the show, right? Mm-hmm. So he supposed to do 15 minutes. It's the funniest shit I ever seen. He condensed 15 minutes into 4 minutes. Didn't miss an inflection. Because they was throwing shit at his motherfucking ass. You can see on the jumbotron, the candy, everything coming down on his motherfucker. I'm like, shit. So I went over, I was 19 then. So I went over to the sound man. I said, all these motherfuckers is thinking about is Andrew Dice Clay, so I got to take that out of they cerebellum. So I said, I want you to play this song when he introduced me, right? So the introduction, they played the song, nigga. I came out motherfucking locking and all this shit. Grabbed the mic, let me hear you say, hey, motherfucker, hey. 30,000 white folks, hey, motherfucker, hey. Cut the music off, lit into their ass before they knew what hit them. Did 30 minutes, stood their motherfucking ass up. Walked backstage, looked at Dice. You're next. That motherfucker running around backstage. Can I fucking pick him? Over there? This kid's gonna be a superstar. So him and his manager started managing me. After that, Dice had managed me.
So Dice Clay was actually managing you?
Yeah, he managed me for the first year.
So that was the real start of your career right there.
Yeah, I was actually, well, still am, godfather to his oldest boy, Max.
I mean, some people who are watching this aren't going to remember, but Dice Clay was massive. At one point, he was like the biggest comedian in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, he broke a lot of records.
Yeah. Like
As
he was
far
doing
as
Madison
attendance
Square
and
Garden.
shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. He was doing stadiums.
Yeah.
Like it's a big deal right now for like Kevin Hart to do a stadium, but he was doing stadiums back then.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah. Now that's what's up. Okay. So you're doing stand-up. Mm-hmm. You're working with Andrew Dice Clay. What do you think was your next big breakthrough after that?
Def Jam.
Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah. I had actually signed with HBO to do my first HBO special before I did Def Jam.
Right.
So we was in the back of the Comedy Store one night, and Martin Lawrence came up to me. He said, hey, I want you to do Def Jam. I said, Def Jam? I said, what's Def Jam? He's like, Russell Simmons put this thing together, you know, comedians come out and do like 5 minutes. I said, I just signed with HBO to do my first half hour. I'm gonna do 5 minutes. I said, nah, I'm cool. He's like, Ed, if you do 5 minutes and blow it up on Def Jam before your special come out, motherfuckers will know who you are and be waiting on you. Light bulb went off. Damn, smart nigga. So I did Def Jam, blew that shit up, right? Did the next special. It was the highest rated special in HBO's history at that time.
Your comedy special.
Oh, hell yeah. It was all in
It
the
was
motherfucker.
classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
I still remember the part about the sperm, the journey of the sperm, like, you know, when they hit the condom and like the whole thing.
Whoop my ass, give me my cash, Rodney King shit. So yeah, that's when it took off. And then right after that, I came back to the Comedy Store, and I was on in the main room one night. And I did this joke called Superman Man, if there was a black Superman. You know, the motherfucker would fly 3 feet off the ground. You know, he'd pick his hair out, nigga, the naps would blow the fuck up, nigga, like dynamite and all this shit. Had x-ray vision, looking at bitches butt naked in the shower and shit. So Robert Towers approached me backstage. He said, don't tell that joke no more. I said, what you talking about? He's like, nigga, that's a movie. Ended up becoming Meteor Man.
Aha. Oh, so Meteor Man was based on your skit?
Yeah.
And you were in Meteor Man?
Yeah.
But you weren't the star?
No.
It was Robert Townsend.
Well, you know, I was yet to be, you know,
Right.
Eddie Griffin, so
Right.
you got to start somewhere. They
Right.
call it paying your dues.
Right.
So cool.
People kind of murdered, you know, Robert Townsend over that movie.
You know, I got to meet a lot of people doing that. You know, Don Cheadle was in the movie, who's also from Kansas City. Bill Cosby was in it, met Dr. Cos. James Earl Jones met, you know, a very stoic figure. He would always sit in his chair and read between every take, you know, which I thought was very interesting. So,
Yeah.
as you know, if he's in my office, I pick up a lot of books.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I met Tiny Lister, Big Zeus.
Big Zeus.
Yeah, I choked him
Debo.
out on the set.
Well, you choked out Debo.
When you interview him, he'll tell you the whole story.
Really?
That nigga like that is the strongest little motherfucker. Because I didn't know if he was playing. He just slamming people, you know.
Yeah, he gets physical with people.
So the motherfucker came at me. I didn't watch wrestling. I didn't know who this big cockeyed nigga was. I just knew I had to jump behind him. I got my motherfucking arm underneath that motherfucker's Adam's apple and shoved that shit up in his skull and put his ass to sleep.
Oh, you actually
I held on
choked
for
him
life.
unconscious.
That motherfucker backed up against the trailer, nigga. I pushed off and bared down on
Oh, so he was trying to
nigga.
bang you against the trailer?
If I let go, I'm dead. That's all I'm thinking. I was holding on for life. Yeah.
All right, next time I interview Tiny, I'm going to
Oh,
bring
he'll
that
be
shit
glad to
up.
tell you the story.
I'm
Hell
going to bring
yeah.
that shit up.
Yeah.
And Tiny's actually from Compton, too.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you did Meteor Man, but then you went on to do a whole bunch of other movies.
Yes.
Undercover Brother,
Yes.
Dysfunctional Family. Like, what do you think was your favorite movie that you've done?
Foolish with Master P.
Really?
Yes, because it's a true story. It's based on my life.
Okay.
That was written by me and Preston Whitmore, who I did The Walking Dead with.
Okay.
I had a show in, it was 91, 92. It's the Singer Theater down in New Orleans. So the promoter came up to me backstage. He's like, yeah, I got these 2 local rappers, man. Yeah. Is it cool to let them open up for you on the show? I said, bring them back. Let me see if they can spit. So it was P and Mystical. Them niggas came in the dressing room. Got to hitting that shit. I said, hell yeah, put them niggas on. So they blew the spot up. So years go by, nigga. I'm sitting on Sunset, nigga. It's like 98 now or some shit, you know. I'm on the Malcolm Eddie show, all that shit. So I'm sitting there just hanging and shit. So all these motherfucking camouflage suits start coming in the motherfucking door, right? So the gold teeth coming around the corner. You don't even remember me, do you? I said, I remember you, nigga. Shit, Master P. He's like, yeah, what's up? I said, nothing, man. He's like, nigga, you know, because you know, you gave us that shot over there, you know, things blew up, nigga. I want to return the favor. I don't think Hollywood done gave you a proper shot at a movie that you can star in.
This was before Undercover Brother?
Yeah, this is way before Undercover Brother.
Okay.
So he said, you got any scripts? I said, nigga, I'll be right back. Ain't bullshit. Got in the car, nigga, went over to Press's house, got the script, Foolish. So brought it back and handed it to the nigga. The nigga gave me a check for $1 million.
Master P gave you a check for $1 million.
For the script.
For the script.
I was a writing motherfucker.
So did he actually cut the check himself, or he got it from a movie company?
No, Master P, we did that independent.
That was independent?
Yes.
Right, because I remember Master P.
Remember, we slung that movie like he slung his music.
Right.
We did our own bus ads all over the country, this, that, and the other, boom, boom. Per screen average, our opening weekend, I think we had like maybe 700 theaters.
Wow, okay.
We came out against Star Wars. We beat Star Wars per screen average.
Foolish beat Star Wars.
Yeah.
This was Star Wars Episode
You
1?
can Google that, yeah.
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. Because Master P was really the first one to do movies himself with with I'm About It.
Mm-hmm.
Not the world's best movie, but he actually put it together. And then you saw an improvement after that. Like, I Got the Hookup, I thought was good.
Well, he created the model, you know what I mean? Where, you know, you can circumvent the movie theaters and shit like that, you know, and go direct sales to the public.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure that pissed Hollywood the fuck off. And
Right.
then they started doing it because, you know, they said, okay, this is a smart motherfucker. So, yeah, we did that. And I remember it was my birthday, July 15th, we was on the set. So, P's boy came over to me. He said, yeah, Percy want to see you. You know, when they call that nigga Percy, he's usually upset about something. So they said, Percy want to see you. I said, about what? He said, the nigga want to see you. I said, tell him I'm over here. You better get your little black ass over there. Right? So I go over to the nigga trailer. That nigga's just bullshitting. Yeah, little motherfucker. You know what I mean? I hear you around here, you know, just doing stupid shit, nigga. Getting high on the set, nigga. This here's a business, nigga. That nigga grabbed me, nigga, and then pulled out a motherfucking presidential Rolex and said, happy birthday. I said, you motherfucker. That's a class act, nigga.
So that's interesting. So, but Master P actually cut you a check for $1 million for a script.
Yeah.
I'm not very familiar with Hollywood. Is that typical for a script?
No.
No. Like, how much do you usually get for a script these days? Well, not even these days,
It
at the
depends.
time.
It depends, you know. Is it a, superhero Marvel Comics type shit? Yeah, you
You get
a check for $1
but
million.
but you're talking about an independent
Small film.
Yeah. How much should that check have been in the marketplace at those days?
Probably like 300, 400.
Okay, so he gave you way more than you were supposed to get.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew what it was about. It was returning the favor for, you know, being that
what's up.
name.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So he cut you $1 million check.
Yeah.
Was that the biggest check you got at the time?
At that time, yeah.
That time.
Yeah.
Okay. $1 million check. That's what's up.
Yeah, because the one before that was like 700 or something, you know. But yeah, that was there.
That's what's up.
As far as taking shots, I mean, this is hip hop. It's fair game, you know. If they took it as a shot, then it's a shot because perception is reality. And you know, at the end of the day, I'm not here to say no, I didn't. It is what it is.
He had some lines, some gut check lines in that record, but as far as like being top 5, I can't go with that. I can't go. Nowhere in the world.
I'd say maybe top 20.
Nowhere in the world. 20? Oh, nah. I mean,
Not even that, huh?